This video is going to be a little different than the ones that have preceded it. I'll be talking a little more freely rather than a simple script describing the process of the work. Now, I have trouble speaking clearly in general, so I still have a template, but the notes are more like a sort of option to talk about instead of a speech. A lot of time has passed. Come to think of it, like a lot of time has passed from the last time that I released a video. It's been quite a journey, and regarding this piece, this was probably one of the most fulfilling pieces to complete, and definitely the most frustrating to finish, and I'll probably go over that later in this video. I've always been pretty sure that external factors influence how I approach and develop a project. Even if I have the outline or plan set up, it'll make me tweak like the color spectrum or how I kind of address the imagery with the structure and graininess of an image, or, you know, that kind of thing. Let's see, I think during the time of the making of this painting, I was pretty mentally charged, so to speak, in a negative and a positive way. I was getting close with a lot of family members due to quarantine, and I was also getting frustrated with a lot of family members due to quarantine. And then Black Lives Matter movement really got a jump, and it has not really stopped jumping since. I think that's great in many ways and sort of ominous in other ways, because there's some extreme positions that have been taken and some more evened out positions that have been taken. When I say extreme positions, I mean all of the looting and violence that has ensued, and this us versus them mentality that a lot of people have taken hold of. I worry about our future if this mentality prevails among the majority of our society. But I suppose the best thing that we can do is to just keep moving on and live by example. And I guess I'll just leave it at that. So I guess that'll account for the really muggy shading that I've been putting into this image throughout the video. I mean, you can see all the shadows, they're dirty and gross, but they still form this cohesive image with the warm color spectrum throughout the whole entire thing. By now, we're on week, I think we're on week 2, and we're still doing somewhat in-person classes, but I have no idea how long we're going to keep this up. There have already been a few sororities and fraternities that have gone quarantine full 100%, and I think that's due to their own stupidity, in my honest opinion. If you're in a frat or a sorority and you're going out to parties, then I'm sorry, but you're part of the problem. Now, I have some friends in Greek communities who may not be too happy about hearing this. Don't take this as an attack so much as a word of caution. Please be safe out there, wear a mask, be smart. We all want this to be over as soon as possible. The absence of parties aren't going to kill you. There's way more to college than the contents of a red Solo cup. But I'm not here to be a role model, I'm here to talk some nonsense. So without further ado, let's get back to nonsense. Now, despite all the external factors that were influencing the way that I went about this piece, I was rather enjoying the style that I was experimenting with regarding the gritty transition of values. I was using a lot of yellow ochre to emphasize that, and some burnt sienna, I think it was. Yeah, it was burnt sienna, and those are very old colors. I'm not too sure why, but I've always enjoyed using these really old colors. I'll be able to formulate an explanation as to why in some time, but I certainly can't now, so I'll have to just leave it there. Now, in about 10 seconds, we will have reached the point of the piece that really aggravated me. And I probably should have seen it coming too, because when you get to the top of a hill, where else is there to go? Downhill, and then you go back uphill again. That's just the way life goes, and that's how this went. It started to look like just a ugly triangle that was just smashed onto this panel in this ugly fashion, and I really hated that. And the colors, they never quite matched, and it took me so long. And I thought it was finished, and then I put the signature on, and then I thought it wasn't finished, and I messed up the signature. So there's that. I was cursing to myself many times throughout the making of this panel. It really did do a number on me, but I learned a lot about how to find patience in completing a work, and really think. You have to sort of play out how colors will go onto a surface in your head. You have to do the best you can. I mean, you're not obviously going to get it right in your head because it's in your head and it's not reality. But, you know, you do what you can, and then you go from there. And then it just comes in full circle. I kind of ignored that triangle for a while and just sort of went off and tried to modify some other things. And that went well, and it also went badly, and it went well a little bit more. This painting really gave me a lesson in patience, and I am definitely implementing that lesson of patience into the project that I'm currently working on now in the painting room at the university. Sometimes I'll just stare at the painting for about 45 minutes to an hour, just talking to myself, running theories back and forth in my head of how one plan could go this way and one plan could go the other way, and I really have to work on it to make sure that a plan seems solid in my head. Sometimes you also have to wing it. I mean, it's not always going to go as planned, so you have to work with what you have. And I think I've said that before in other videos, but it's definitely relevant to repeat every once in a while. See right there, that stick that I'm using, it helps with people like me who are left-handed, and you don't want to get paint smeared on a panel. And I'm pretty sure right-handed people can use it too, but I would not know because I am not right-handed. That being said, here we are coming to a close, and I wish you all farewell.